Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're going to be taking the EZA, LR, BEERUS WHIs into their first destination of Red Zone. To be fair, maybe on global, only one of two destinations of Red Zone. Now the reason why I say that, and I don't usually do this, is because I'm going to quickly run you through a few things before we do use them. Their EZA, great, really good. Partnering them up with this Whis, especially with his dodge chance, the support they offer them, also links, great. However, on global, in terms of an actual decent leader, we don't really have one aside from these guys as the more recent lead to bring them on the 170 lead portion of Realm of Gods, and it's just not good enough. Now, there's nothing wrong with the leader skill. It's these as an actual unit. If you have dupes in them, you're going to have obviously a slight better time and they could perform somewhat well. If you have them at 55%, and even with dupes, the ROF Blues as a unit as a whole just isn't that great. And in any stage of Red Zone, whether that's Omega, Cell Max, definitely Broly and 100% Cooler Core, considering Cooler Core is Fizz, these two can get you caught and will just get absolutely slapped up. So in terms of the rest of the team, you're fine. You know, you've got the Year 7 LR Gods when you're facing a movie boss, so you're saying you've got this guy, absolute kryptonite. You've got the new Dokkan Fest God Goku. You've got an abundance of options. It's these guys that hold them back in terms of a team build, specifically when referring to LR, BEERUS WHIs on the best category you can currently run them on global. However, on JP, while it's not the most ideal leader skill to be running them under, you do have the flat 200% lead of Bonder and Master Disciple, or Bond of Master and Disciple from the 8th anniversary LR Gohan, which means you can run LR BEERUS WHIs, you can run this guy, yes, under the 200% leader skill buff, but more importantly, under a better lead with a better unit. It's not perfect, but it's better than the ROF Blues, and you can also run them with other decent units. Like, for example, run Bond of Master and Disciple right now, you have the choices of this guy. I know he gets memed heavy, but still a pretty decent unit nonetheless. His damage output, even at 55%, is fantastic. Has the guard for 3 turns as well. You have LR EZA Gohan, one of the best EZAs and best units in the entire game still. And then there's a few other options like EZA Future Gohan. They start to dip off, but then you have Movie Hero Piccolo, who is goated as a side banner unit. You have LR Orange Piccolo, who unfortunately I don't have, another great choice. And the team is just very good. It's a much more well-rounded team, very good defensively. But most importantly, when you run LR Gohan as a lead, yes, the team might not be ideal for a build for these guys, but as an overall team, mainly because LR Gohan is better than the ROF Blues, it gives you a better chance and a better time in Red Zone. So that is one thing I did want to point out before we do start, that they're just not in the best spot on global. Like, don't get me wrong, I think LR BEERUS WHIs EZA is very good, and I also do believe they can do very well against Omega, against Cell Max, hell, against Cooler Core. I reckon they'll be amazing. Type advantage, multiple super attacks, built-in crit, before we even take into consideration dodge. Then there's also the likes of, you know, the fact we can do big damage because of the crit and the type advantage. But then I also do think they'll just be amazing there. But unfortunately, because of these guys, because of how not great they are, and then the type disadvantage against Cooler Core, it's a massive, massive risk to run them. So that's one thing I will say about them, and it's such a shame right now, because I said on global, it's not that there's anything really wrong with LR BEERUS WHIs. Like, don't get me wrong, they have a very specific link set, and because of the Whis EZA, it's an easier time running them, especially with the support and the link set. Obviously, you may not want to run them on main rotation. They may not have a slot 1 unit next to them, but having him pop up every other turn can work pretty well. You get the links you need, you have the good support, you have an abundance of support, and then he's also got the dodge chance that he has. It actually also affects him as a unit as well. As I said, in terms of his passive, he has a very good passive. However, because of the Bond of Master and Disciple portion of it, that's where he gets his dodge chance from. Bond of Master and Disciple category ally attacking the same turn, of course he gets 25% dodge chance. If that was Realm of Gods, you could trigger it a lot easier. And again, because we don't have a better lead to run not even just LR BEERUS and Whis under, but also the Int BEERUS and also the EZA Int Whis. He kind of holds them back a bit, because then we have to run these guys who, as I said, are not that great. They're not that good in red zone either, so I don't think I'll be doing that many red zone videos on LR BEERUS and Whis right now, just because we won't get that far because of the blues. It's just as simple as that. Then also, on a full 200% lead Bond of Master Disciple team with very good defensive units literally all over the place, you know, Movie Hero Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, like they're everywhere. We can trigger Whis' 25% dodge chance per Bond of Master Disciple category while attacking in the same turn. Literally every turn, no problem. So there's that. But we're just going to have to kind of make do. I guess maybe in the future we will revisit these guys as a unit, especially with a 200% lead, and then take them into red zone under the 200% lead, and then take them into the harder ones. Maybe even a Mega if we don't get a decent run to show them off at this point, but definitely against Broly, 100% against Call of Corks. I reckon they'll be great there. But they are here with Whis. See, right now we're getting only 25% dodge. This is another reason why I say go full dodge on him. But we do have his support, so we do have 200k defense right now. I think I'm actually going to risk putting BEERUS, not BEERUS and Whis. I'm actually going to have Whis in slot 1. We have 25% dodge chance in his passive. I've gone full dodge in dupe system. He has type advantage, and we have a Whis. And he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. See, this is what I mean. If you take the risk and RNG pays off with this guy, he can go on rotation. But of course, that's also the double-edged sword. If we decide to put him in slot 1 and he doesn't feel like dodging, and especially if we don't have an item active, he's going to take quite a lot of damage. Now, of course, Cellmax is a little more forgiving because he only does 300k on a basic. Does have multiple supers. They're not dodging, however, though. That's kind of annoying. But 185k, we do have a Whis active, double digits on basics to be expected right there. You know, if we're in like a harder red zone event, like a Cooler Core, especially while he has tap disadvantage, if Whis doesn't dodge and we have no item active, Whis is taking a bag of damage. Then there's Broly, who of course, you can't dodge his final phase, so guess what? Whis either has to tank, and if he gets hit by a super and you don't have item active, he's taking a bag of damage. So that's what I mean, they're just kind of in a slight awkward position on global right now. Like, I know LR BEERUS and Whis are a very good unit. I know they're gonna perform very well. It's just right now they're just not in the best of slots, or not slots. They're just not in the best of positions to go on a decent team build, and it's literally just purely down to the leader and the leader actually being usable in red zone or somewhat decent in red zone. Like, I've already used both of our Whis because of the ROF blues appearing. I said they're quite alright with dupes. Unfortunately, I don't have them, so we have to make do. But LR BEERUS and Whis are definitely a unit I want to revisit in the future, so hopefully I do manage to pull the LR Gohan when the 8th anniversary does drop in like, what, 4 or 5 months time at this point? I think it's 5 though. But hopefully when he does drop during the 8th anniversary, hopefully I do manage to pull him. Because EZA, LR BEERUS and Whis is definitely a unit I want to revisit by then, where we can actually attempt the harder red zone stages, where I know they'll do well. I said Call of Court, they'll do amazingly well there. Built-in crits, additionals, dodge, all built in while having type advantage. Can you imagine how much damage LR BEERUS and Whis will be able to do to Call of Court, especially with the Whis support? They'd pop off. And again, they also have the ability to dodge his super attacks, which is ridiculous. So definitely a unit I want to revisit. Right now on global, when it comes to a leader, especially a decent leader, not even just their leader skill, an actual decent leader with a good kit, we don't currently have one. We'd either have to wait for the EZA Future Gohan to get, or Future Gohan to get an EZA, the Int one, the Transforming one, who, by the way, I still don't have. Or we would have to wait for Fizz BEERUS to also get an EZA, so who knows when that will be. They're up to 341k defense. We also have an item active. So they're actually kind of chilling right now. They can tank Cellmax's basics even without an item active, because of course Cellmax does 300k on a basic. So even without the Whis, they'd be fine. And of course, then there's the potential of BEERUS and Whis dodging. Which are they going to do? They're not going to do, but we do have a Whis active with over 300k defense, so they should be fine. Yeah, 134k damage. That's... Oh, now you want to dodge? And of course, double digits on the basics, which they will tank anyway without an item. We're up to 7.45 million attack stat. This is what I mean. They are very good now, and I'd love to use them, especially with the Int Whis. I said the Int BEERUS also looks very good. Like, the lengths he can get to defensively is honestly just kind of ridiculous for a sub EZA. Like, with the Whis support, you're talking like 700k defense, like, I think off of 2 supers, or in the realms of that. That tanks the majority of red zone, I'm not gonna lie. Apart from of course super attacks, but with a Whis, he's chilling. He's chilling. But then that's the only thing. If you run all 3 of them, you don't really have a good slot 1 unit unless you really want to rely on Whis' dodge, which of course you can't do in every event because sometimes dodge is disabled. But so far they're performing really well. Really well. I think our HP is also at the 70% HP threshold as well. Actually, it's probably lower. So we should be having that guaranteed additional on top of that. I don't even know if the the blues are even built up yet. I'm just going to keep them, just to be safe, I'm going to keep them actually, we're going to have to pray that actually, I'm going to transform them. I need the extra defense because otherwise I was going to have to pray that 1 attack is not a super attack. I'm still praying that 1 attack ain't a super attack. But that type disadvantage is a risk. And this is why taking him into Call of Core is just not a possibility. And why I say and keep saying that because of the best leader skill currently on Global, for LR BEERUS and Whis, for them and an overall team build is currently the ROF Blues. It holds them back. Not even just actually using them, like where I'm not even sure I'm going to get a good run or a good video out of using them on this team because I know the ROF Blues will hold them back. So yeah, definitely in a few months time, a unit I want to revisit because they are very good after EZAing, like they are very good. Finally don't have key issues, good damage output. As I said, they have everything built in, kind of like transforming cell, dodge, crit additional. They also got the HP recovery on 18 and 12 key, which is fantastic, by the way. I'm actually really scared. I'm pretty sure Settle Max is super attack twice. We could be out the woods for super attacks, but the basic is probably still gonna hurt. Yeah, this is what I mean. 173k on a basic is ridiculous. Okay, this was kind of the rotation I was going for. It was these guys on 1 rotation. They're up to, with the support, still 341k defense, which is pretty good. They do have tight disadvantage here, which is a risk. Can't get God Goku the orbs, but that's okay. We're going to have to rely on the dodge, but we can get some HP back from, of course, LR BEERUS and Whis' 18 key and 12 key super, and from same type orbs. There's the dodge in what we're looking for. I just need you to continue doing that for the remainder of Cell's attacks. If not, we might be dead on a super, I'm not going to lie. Probably should have checked God Goku's defense, but it's okay. You gonna dodge? No, we may be dead. We are not dead. Okay, big up God Goku. 8.2.5 million attack stat we're up to, though. Again, we're gonna get a 25% HP recovery in total, which is very nice. And if they hit some crits, which is a big possibility because they have it built in, only 30%, but then also rainbowed, we could actually done some pretty good damage to this phase. But no crits. Crit from Whis, though. And unless Whis dodges, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. It's okay. It's okay. I think my point was kind of showing through there of how good they can perform. It's just the team that kind of holds them back. And then, of course, if Whis doesn't dodge, or if you can't give him his full 50% dodge chance, because of the Bond of Master Disciple category allows all in 1 turn, which we can't really do right now because it's just not a good category to run until we have a decent lead, which is again the 8th anniversary LR Gohan. It kind of puts these guys in a very awkward position where they can do well, it's just on Global, not right now. Or you have to get very lucky, which is Whis dodges all of them attacks with only the 25% to dodge in his passive, and then relying on the small amount of dodge he gets from the hidden potential system. So I think it's kind of a shame the position they're in on Global, but I know they can perform well. Like, they're doing well there. They would have been fine. It's just we had to rely on Whis dodging, which unfortunately he didn't do. Could have more of a chance if we did have the 2 allies in 1 turn, but it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts down on EZA, LR BEERUS, and Whis down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.